Well, good morning, business mathematics students. This is Mr. Doucette, and this is Business 20, week number 4 in our 8-week class here at Norco College. And I'm going to be talking this week, or you're going to be learning this week, about two very important topics. And these are, for whatever reason, some of the ones that students struggle with the most, but they're really not very difficult. And that is calculating simple interest and then calculating compound interest. So simple interest is going to be using a formula very similar to the one that you've been using with markups and markdowns and percentages and all that. It's basically taking the little triangle or little circle and you're going to add another column, and that other column is going to be time. And so you're going to have rate and base and time, and that's going to give you your interest at the top. So anyway, you'll be going over that in our Zoom session, but compound interest is a little bit different. I actually don't use the formulas, and I'm kind of actually discouraging students from using the formulas because the tables that are provided in your book are much simpler, and I'll show you how to do that in some of the videos that I've prepared. I'll point you to those here in a minute, but let me go ahead and share my screen. And here I am on our homepage in Canvas. I'm going to scroll down to module number 2, and by the way, this is the second week in module number 2. And so we have this week, at the end of this week, you'll have your first midterm exam, and it's going to be based off of the first 4 weeks of class. So everything we've learned up to this point, including compound interest, that'll be on your exam, and that's going to be due on Sunday night. So you don't have any, well, you do have a quiz this week, and the only reason I give you a quiz is just so that you can work through some of the compound and simple interest problems. You can take it as many times as you need to, so it's really just to be a learning tool, really more than an assessment, but it is worth 12 points. So this week you're going to have a check-in assignment like you always do, and this is going to be specifically on chapters 10 and 11, simple interest, and then compound interest, chapter 11. So you're helping Sienna, with some investments and things like that, and so you're going to help her work through some problems that deal with that. I think there's, 8 problems or something like that on this check-in assignment. And then you do have the quiz. The quiz is only 6 questions, so you should have 3 from chapter 10 and 3 from chapter 11. But they're really an opportunity for you to work through. And I do want to admit that these are probably almost all fill-in questions, very few multiple choice. And that's because I want you to figure out how to work through the problems. So, and I do apologize, this last week I did get a little bit behind on grading, and I did grade all of these submitted quizzes this morning, which was Sunday morning, and then I also did all the check-in assignments, but I didn't give the feedback I normally would like to because I just had a really busy weekend and I was unable to get to them until this morning. Usually I get to them on Saturday morning, but I was out of town all day yesterday. So nonetheless, I did grade all those up to this point, so make sure you go in and see how to work on those if you need to. But anyway, chapter 10 and 11, so you'll be doing the quiz, and then you have your midterm exam, which covers chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, and chapter 11. And it's only 25 questions, but there's a lot of fill-in questions on there as well. So, and just a little side note, many of the questions on the quizzes are also on the exam. So if you've mastered them in the quizzes or you know how to work them out, make sure that you refer to those and maybe review those before you take the midterm exam. That's just a little hint. So that's what you're going to be working on this week. Make sure that you do watch my videos in the study pages for both chapter 10 and chapter 11, or you can also join us on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. as we will be going over both how to do simple interest problems and compound interest problems this Thursday at 10 o'clock. So join me for that. Just go to the coursework section here on this week's module and select the Zoom session on Thursday, and make sure you do that at the time that we're going to be meeting at 10 a.m. and then I'll be going over all this as well then. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions or issues or concerns, please get a hold of me. But I do want to caution you that most students do struggle with chapters 10 and 11, so don't wait until Saturday night or Sunday to figure it out. Please try and get started early, and especially do the check-in assignment and the quiz, and that'll really show you whether or not you're prepared for the midterm exam, and make any corrections that you need to make, and then take the midterm exam after all that. So, all right, well, that's the plan for this week. Again, if you have any questions or issues,